What's up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. Something about the underdog. Today we have one of the minds behind Fitaid and Life Aid on this show. But before we get into this interview, you know I have to give this man's brand a proper Underdog Talk introduction. Hailing from Santa Cruz, California, this brand crafts a variety of premium performance beverages for functional nutrition. Today's brand is the official drink of the ever-growing sport of pickleball. I said that right, pickleball. I love pickleball. This company's products can be found in thousands of gyms, hundreds of retailers such as Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, Kroger, Sprouts, Vitamin Shop. Additionally, Fitaid has become the official sponsor of the U.S. Spartan Race Series and of U.S. weightlifting. I am proud and honored to present Fitaid / Life Aid with founder Mr. Aaron Hinde. What is up, sir?
Wow, I love that intro, brother. That was the most enthusiastic introduction I've ever gotten. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and your brand deserves all of that. Now, Aaron, I got to rewind a little bit. So pickleball, I'm that's right? You guys are the official.
Yeah, we are totally.
Go!
Yeah, I've always been into tennis and racquetball, and got exposed to pickleball, and talking to my friends that are big in tennis and racquetball. I said, pickleball is the next thing, and the more we looked into it, the more alignment there was. Pickleball tournaments happening all over the country. People are building pickleball courts instead of tennis courts these days. It takes up less space. It's a very accessible sport. So we're super stoked to be aligned with the pickleball community.
Honestly, two things. I love the game of pickleball. I think it's fascinating. And B, pickleball is kind of like this show. It's an underdog. It is
Totally.
a sleeper sport. Let me just tell you that. Now, Aaron, before we start this interview, I've been thinking about this all day. Are you a big house music guy? Because I saw you posted that you were at a club a few days ago. So if so, what is your favorite house music artist, real quick?
Oh man, that's putting me on the spot. There's so many good ones. You know who I love right now? This guy named James Hype. James Hype. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. I think he's out of the UK. The guy plays off of 4 turntables and just crushes it. It's insane. If I could ever get to James Hype level with my DJ skills, I'll retire. Like, that's it. Like, he's the cat's meow. But there's so many good ones. I love playing music. I'm down here in the studio right now. Had gigs booked all weekend long. We threw it down in Santa Cruz. Had a bar packed out. Had some friends come down from the city. We had like 4 or 5 DJs. We all rotated through and had a great time. So yeah, multiple gigs last weekend. It's been a lot of fun.
Wow, I love that. And James, if you're watching and you want to create a verse for Fitaid Life Aid, hit Aaron up. I love to see that. I've got to say, I think I'm a Daft Punk kind of guy. I know that's a throwback and a classic, but around the world, just something about it.
Classic house track, brother. Classic house track. Someday I'll create a classic house track.
Ooh, little Aaron Hinde and Daft Punk collab.
Hey, when I finally run into him at Burning Man, I'll ask him that question.
I love it. So I want to look at your brand. So you and your co-founder Orion, am I saying that right?
Orion, like the constellation.
Constellation. Yeah. That's a tough name. I like that. So you and Orion, first met a gym in, like I announced it, Santa Cruz, California, and then in 2019, that's when you guys met.
Orion, 2009. Yeah.
You see, I knew that 2009. So Orion was a certified financial planner, and then you were the sports chiropractor, working with local athletes, Aaron. So you guys got a friendship real quickly. Later, this evolved into a business partnership. So first, Aaron, what kind of athletes were you working with? And then the big question, how did the idea of Life Aid get created between you two?
Yeah, for the first part of the question, I was working with athletes of all levels, but typically, high school and up, high school, collegiate, and pro. Had multiple NFL players, MLB players coming in, a lot of collegiate players, and that was part of the genesis for the brand. Was I've got these high level athletes coming in, and if you look at an athlete, I would, if I like to draw analogies. They're like, the Ferrari of vehicles, right? Like, here is the perfect specimen that's operating at the highest level you can in sport, and they're putting 85 gasoline in the car. And what I mean by that is they were coming into the office and they were drinking a garbage energy drink filled with synthetic caffeine that's derived from urea, that's filled with tons of sugar, causing all kinds of spikes in insulin levels, or artificial sweeteners, which could be even worse, that kill your gut microbiome. Or they were drinking the quote unquote sports drinks that were formulated in the 60s and have all kinds of dyes in them and excessive sugar and too much sodium. And so, I would really chat with them like, look, dude, you're putting 85 gasoline in a Ferrari. What are you doing? They're like, I already drink lots of water. What would you have me drink? And, me really tell them, well, try this, get some, water and squeeze some lemon in it and maybe some Himalayan sea salt and try a little magnesium, and going through like all these concoctions and stuff. And it was like, looking at the market, we knew there had to be a better way.
Yeah.
You had the emergence of the kind of healthy drink category 11 years ago with coconut water and kombucha's hitting the scene, but let's face it, those are very acquired flavor profiles. Like, you either like them or you don't, right? And they're still really high in sugar, both kombucha and coconut water. And then you had the energy drinks that had that whole cool, sexy, hip vibe to them. A lot of alternative sports were into the energy drinks, but nobody's drinking an energy drink for health reasons. You don't go up to someone drinking a Monster and say, "Oh, are you drinking that for your health?" No, they're drinking it for effect, but they know it's not healthy.
Yeah.
So our goal was to really marry the health, the functional health movement that was emerging out of this like kombucha, coconut water category, and the kind of cool, sexy, hip, functionality of the energy drinks, and like mash them together, make something that was like lifestyle oriented, but also, something that you could give a wink, wink to the moms out there, and like, hey, you can feel good about giving this to your family.
And I love that. I think, we need a combination. We need energy, but we also need those, necessary vitamins and all the other herbs in there. And I think you did a great combination of both of those, Aaron. So would you mind quickly talking about what the difference between Life Aid and Fitaid is? I know the parent company, but why have a parent company?
Yeah, good question. I mean, look, most people know us by Fitaid. Fitaid gets 90% of our marketing budget. Most of our traction happened initially in the gym channel, which is very Fitaid centric. But the company has always been Life Aid, and the Life Aid as the big picture was all about health conscious, function forward, nutritional blends to aid your specific activity. So we have, under the Life Aid umbrella, we have Focus Aid, the very first nootropic drink on the market. And a lot of people hear about nootropics now, and there's different nootropic drinks. Focus Aid was the first. I still think it's the best formulated. It's very effective, and that's a great seller for us. We have Immunity Aid, as you can imagine, all about supporting your immune system, echinacea, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D3. Long before COVID existed, Immunity Aid was on the market for people to boost their immune system, especially while they're on the go. We have Party Aid. Party Aid was actually the very first concept, that was stemmed out of our attending festivals and going to the burn. And, Party Aid's 5-HTP for a serotonin boost, milk thistle, electrolytes, B vitamins, etc. So, each of the blends really reflects us and our personal lifestyle choices.
I love that. I love that about this brand. It is so personal, yet it is so conventional and so needed. Again, I was gonna say "fu Monster," and I still will say that because Monster, move over. Fitaid, come on in because this is
It's here.
it's here. It's here to stay, and it has been here to stay. As you know, Aaron, this brand has taken off since 2019. You know, being a staple product at retail stores. And I started in a supplement retail store 4 years ago, and this was the product, and is still the product. And I mean, now you guys have athletes such as Derwin James, Buda Baker, Brandon Ayuk, Kevin Looney, Sarah Sigmundsdottir. I mean, this brand has taken off. So the $1,000,000 question to you, Aaron, is
Well, three-time NBA champion Kevon Looney, by the way.
Is-
Go Dubs. We're right here in the Bay Area. Big Warriors fans out here.
he is now, as of 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, he is. I didn't think the Warriors would win, but they did.
Nobody did. They counted us out.
He is a 3-time. Yes, sir. Now, Aaron, where do you see this brand down the road? I mean, what's next for Fitaid and LifeAid?
Yeah, I mean, look, we have always set out to be a household name, to change consumers' expectations.
Yeah.
And when I say that, what I mean is what we put into our bodies is a direct reflection of how we show up in the world, right? And like I love using a golf analogy because we also have Golf Raid, and I love golf. No serious professional golfer goes out and drinks a 12-pack of beer on their round. Why? Because they know they're going to play like shit. If you get hammered, right? A hacker might do it, but a serious golfer won't do it. What they put in their body directly affects how they perform on the golf course. Yeah. That's happening to us all the time in everyday life. We eat a bunch of sugar and jack our body all up and have insulin spikes and then step into a big meeting. It's probably not going to go so well. Our brain's going to be fried. Our blood sugar's all screwed up. Fried foods. There's so many environmental toxins that we're exposing our bodies to. And the massive beverage companies in this country have gotten a free pass for over 100 years now, poisoning our children with their sugar water or their aspartame or their sucralose, right? So we're changing people's expectations about what to get out of a beverage. We provide clean functionality, right? So it's not just for hydration anymore. It's actually about functionality. What are you trying to achieve? How are you trying to show up? Whether that's post-workout recovery, clean energy, brain health, immunity, etc. And we're doing so without jacking you up on sugar or artificial ingredients and dyes and artificial sweeteners and sucralose and all this other garbage. So, and what's happening is this movement that used to be confined to a bunch of hippies here in Santa Cruz is now becoming mainstream. Walmart sells more organic food every year than Whole Foods does. Imagine that. Walmart. You don't think of Walmart as like this natural organic customer. So the tides are changing, and we're super stoked that we've been part of this whole movement. We've seen it from its infancy to start really becoming mainstream.
I love that because these modern day energy drinks and sodas are so bad for us. I mean, they make us physically and mentally just weaker, and something like this product is really, I mean, I love it. I've loved it for years. Guys, please, if you're looking for another alternative, if you're looking for a healthier alternative, check out Fitaid. I mean, it is the truth. Now, Aaron, this is a hypothetical. Do you ever see a protein Fitaid coming out?
I wouldn't count it out. Look, as long as we can make something that is clean, number one, is efficacious, number two, and tastes great, then it's on the table, and we know that, I do protein every single day of my life. So usually multiple times a day. So, I'm a big protein fan, always have been. And it's interesting looking at the protein category and the growth and even some of the plant-based proteins that are available now and how much better they've gotten. So there's a lot of options out there. And let's just say, we're constantly innovating in the lab.
I love it. Weirdly, I could see like a Fitaid coffee protein. You guys have so much room to work with, and I love that about your brand, Aaron. And I definitely see that you do take protein, Aaron, because you're pretty jacked. I'm impressed, man. You're making my little arms look bad.
For an old guy, it's not
Oh,
horrible.
baby. I love it. Now, Aaron, as someone who's really seen it all, been in the industry again, since 2009 and before even with other ventures, what is your biggest tip for someone who's looking to start their own company? Again, it doesn't have to be a supplement company or even, an energy drink, just a company in general from what you've learned throughout all these years.
Yeah, great question. I'll take it from one of the best marketers that I personally know, and a friend of mine is name's Dean Jackson. His biggest piece of advice and number one is choose a single target market. Too many times we're launching a product or a service and we try to be everything to everyone. And it's the exact opposite thing you should do. It's the quickest way to go out of business and get zero traction is try to create something for everybody. Instead, choose your audience as narrow as possible, as niche as possible, and you have to be legitimate in that community. I mean, Orion and I met in 2009 in a CrossFit gym. There's no coincidence that we have a CrossFit drink that launched in 2011. We golfed together. When we had free time once a week, we have a golf product. We go to Burning Man together. We have a party product, right? Like, so, it's got to be legitimate and consistent. And by the way, we didn't launch all those at once. We made some mistakes and launched some of them too close together. So when I say choose a single target market, for us, it would be like Fitaid in the CrossFit community only. And you focus on that until you have tons of traction. And then you look at, well, what's the next adjacent market that makes sense? And for us, that was like Spartan race, right? And then you can build from there.
Or Focus Aid if you're a busy CEO, DJ, and literally all the other million tasks that you do, Aaron. And I think that's so key. And I've talked to so many owners of these successful supplement energy drinks companies in general. And that tip is again what Aaron preached. I mean, believe in your product, but also know what you're doing before you go in. And I think Aaron, what you did is you changed the game. So clearly something's working for you guys. And I mean, Aaron, it has been such an honor and privilege to talk with, a company I grew up loving and still love. But we like to get our guests out of here with some rapid fire questions. I'm sure you've never heard some of these questions before. Are you game, Aaron?
I'm always game.
Hell yeah. Have to go one-on-one with Sarah Sigma's daughter in a CrossFit event or skydive?
Well, I've already been skydiving, so that one would be easy. One-on-one. If I could pick the workout, then I would do it. What could I do that I could probably out bench press her, which doesn't show up in CrossFit too much, but I might be able to out bench. But even there, that's not a guarantee. She's pretty jacked. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe toes to bar.
All right. I like that. Have to
Heavy
go.
kettlebell swings. I might be able to hang with her on that one.
Getting a little. All right. I like that. I'm going to change that up a little. Have to bench press against Buddha Baker or have to go one-on-one against Buddha Baker. Both are on live TV, just to put it out there, Aaron.
One-on-one, as in we're brawling?
No, not that question will come later. One-on-one as he is covering you and you are the wide receiver.
I wouldn't have a chance in hell, but hey, I'll go out there and see if I can sneak one in. I'll do an old 49er, like a couple steps forward with a quick slant and see if I can catch a pass.
Ooh, 49er Brandon Ayuk's taking notes. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to help my guy Aaron out. But I love it. Aaron, this is a very interesting one to me. Favorite Fitaid product?
Ooh, that's tough. They're all my babies, you know that. And I do consume them all regularly. But my go-to as far as frequency is concerned is Focus Aid.
Ooh, that's a good one. And I mean, that melon matcha, I mean, that has my taste buds watering. Oh, that sounds damn good.
It's just super effective. Like it really works for me. Like I could be like, man, I really need a nap. I drink a Focus Aid and the combination of the green tea and yerba mate with the nootropics and B vitamins, it literally just gets me right back in the zone. It's like instant, not instant, 20 minutes though.
All right, that's how you say it. I always have, problems with mate. All right, I love that. No Fitaid recovery for a year or no focus aid for a year.
Oh man, that's tough. That's real tough. I'm not sure on that one. Like those are both my number 1 and 2 babies, and I couldn't tell you what order. Like after I get my ass kicked in a CrossFit workout, there's nothing like an ice cold Fitaid. So
There's not.
I'd be hard to do without. But like I said, Focus is my daily drinker, so that's a tough one. Yep.
Oh, we stumped the man behind it all. We'll take that as they're both good. And I mean,
They're both great.
You need both of them. I think that was a trick question because we really do need to have both those in a day. You can't really go one without one. So all right, that's a good answer, Aaron. Last 2 questions are the big ones on this show. Talking about brawling. Talk like Rocky Balboa for the rest of your life or have to box Rocky Balboa in his prime, Aaron. Are we a fighter or are we a lover?
Oh, dude, put the gloves on. Let's go.
Oh,
I love first of all, I'm a huge Rocky fan. Rocky 4 is in my top 5 movies of all time. But Rocky's a midget, dude. I'm 6 foot tall. Like I'll go toe to toe with that little guy.
You see, and that's the crazy part. We've had so many people, I'm not going to say names, but have actually seen Sylvester Stallone in person. Like, he's not actually that big. He's like 5'10". Like, we might be able to take him.
Is he that tall? I thought he was like 5'8".
He
I
might
might have to consult the Google on that one.
You got the reach on him, Aaron. And I mean,
I got reach. I know I got that.
I would give you like 5-6 months training too. I wouldn't even just throw you in there. So honestly, I might have some money on you, Aaron. This could be a nice little prize fight.
And I'm almost 50, but he's got to be like what, 65, 70 now?
Yeah.
But you said his prime, so that's a different thing. If it was his prime against my prime,
Aaron, I still think you're in your prime. Last one is a big one. It is going to determine who Aaron Hinde is. Pull-ups or chin-ups?
I can do either, but you know what? I love mixing it up. I do chin-ups pretty regularly, especially if I'm doing more a bodybuilding style workout. I'll do like bench press with chin-ups and do that combo. I love that. But dude, I'll get up there and bust out some pull-ups. I could do probably 20 strict pull-ups and butterflying. I could, add another 10 on top of that. So doesn't matter. Bring it on.
Well, the correct answer, Aaron, was pull-ups. But I mean, since you got in depth with it, I'm gonna let that slide because you do both, and you actually went into detail, and I love that. I mean, guys,
chin-ups are great for the lats and for the biceps, so it really depends on what you're trying to work a little bit.
All right, that's a fair answer. I mean, we are talking with Aaron Hinde, co-owner of Fitaid Life Aid, one of the hottest drinks, in the market. Such a quality, clean brand. Underdog Talk approved. But Aaron, again, thank you for coming on. But before we go, is there anything you want to plug? Where can we find your content? Where can we find you DJing, brother? Where can we find Fitaid Life Aid? Floor is yours, sir.
Well, I'll post most of my DJ gigs on Instagram. So at Aaron Hinde, Hinde Aaron. For the brand, lifeaidbevco.com or at Fitaids are most active on Instagram and TikTok.
I mean, please go check out Life Aid, Fitaid, Aaron's DJing. I mean, guys, thanks for watching.
Check me out on SoundCloud too. You want to listen to my DJ sets?
Oh, you're on SoundCloud too. SoundCloud artists have been breaking the internet. So maybe Aaron Hinde will be a CEO and top DJ soon. I love to see it manifested, Aaron.
That's right.
But I am tired as hell, so I'm about to rock some Fitaid Restful Sleep. I had to just say that because I love that product. So good night and Underdog out.